Hi Stampin' friends, tonight we're going to use the Tulip Fields stamp set and dies. This one has a lot of possibility, but I had a little bit of trouble getting these guys lined up here. So I'm going to have a couple of tips for you, and then probably going to encourage you to not worry about it too much. So one thing I did enjoy seeing, I looked on Pinterest and saw some that had lines of dark between them, like maybe some crumb cake to look like dirt. And so that was really realistic, I thought. So that was kind of cool. So first I'm going to show this for the ones who are not my local customers. This is one that I made. It's called a bay window card. I saw Barbara Welch do a video on this, and then it was an adaptation of Maria Taylor's card that she had done from her craft store locally, who the owner's name was Tony. So this is a bay window card, and it has the beautiful Flowering Fields paper, and then what we're using tonight, the die cut that is the Windmill, and it will still fold flat and go into a card. So it just has a lot of great possibilities with this set, but I liked how this looked, and really highlights the paper. Okay, the other things we're going to do tonight is we're going to make one card that is a landscape width card that's like a panorama, and then we're going to use these butterflies and flowers layering decorative masks. So this is something that is in the catalog, and I just kind of wanted to kind of show them to you and let you see what you thought. They have like this kind of vining that kind of goes off to the side there like that. They have these beautiful roses that I really like. Not sure how you're able to see that. Maybe I should put some white behind it. There we go, much better. There's that. There's the vines again. And then here are some other flowers. Then we have the butterflies. And then the ones that I was really considering for this particular use was this. This is kind of, it's a little bit Delft-like. So this is kind of like a floral pattern of medallions. And then this one is kind of like little rosettes. To me, this has kind of a tile look. So I did this with some blue. And so my idea was, if I had a like a navy blue and white windmill, that this could kind of turn into like a little Delft kind of a look. But I had a lot of trouble getting these guys on there exactly like I wanted. So who knows what's going to happen when I try this while you all are watching. So I may try a couple of different ways. All right. So what I've done to start is I want to try to do the tulip field looking thing. Now, I actually have been to the Netherlands. It was in 1999. And I went to the Keukenhof, and I saw the tulips kind of growing in the fields. They probably do that so that we tourists will be able to say, oh yes, I saw tulips growing in the field. And then they also had gardens that were set up where you could like just see them the way that they would design a garden. So this piece comes all together, and I've just inked it up with Daffodil Delight, and my Daffodil Delight looks really dark. So I'm not sure if I should have used So Saffron, but we'll see. One thing to consider when you're doing this is that you might want to use your grid paper to try and get it straight. I used the grid paper to get the stamp onto my block, and then I used it. It still didn't seem especially straight to me, and I was, lining it up like this, but then also you have to get it onto your paper in a way that's straight. So this might have been a situation where I should have used the Stamparatus, but I wanted to kind of try it freehand and just see how it went. So anywho, I'm going to try to line this up. I'm at, let's see, the 8 was the center. So then the 10, I was kind of doing a little bit of back and forth from the 8, because you know that's kind of a good one to use. It has that big line in the middle, so that it's this far back from the 5 and this far back from the 11. Okay, I kind of like that. And then I want to leave room at the top for it to have the little windmill and maybe some clouds. Okay, so I'm just putting that on there like that. Oh, I think I rocked it. Oh, no, maybe not. Okay, so you can see there that's strangely orange. I'm not sure why it's so intense, but I'm pretty sure I haven't re-inked it with the wrong color or anything like that. So you can see here, I think I will be able to fit our little stamped image. This is stamped and die cut. It's a little windmill like that. So then the next thing I want to try is using our this kind of a piece, and then I just want to get this thing and try to clean up my block edges. Let's see here, because I've got a little on the edges. Okay, so I think the next thing to do is probably use the Poppy Parade next to my yellow. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to need this twice. I'm going to try to leave it open and not make a mess, but we'll see. You can see I've got this stacked up really high on here, because I'm thinking that that way maybe I won't rock. But that's a tip, but maybe it's a tip, maybe it's not. Who knows? Okay, then I'm going to stamp this here like a little sun. Try to get it stamped neatly. Okay, then I'm going to do the same thing over here. Now, it will look more realistic if you stamp it off to the side, like if you angle it over to the side. And I'm covered with ink, I apologize. That's how you know you're having fun, right? Okay, so now I'm going to just try to line this up here. Get it about the same. Oh, I think I got it a little high. Okay. There we are, and then I'm going to go ahead and clean this a little. Hold on, I want to use a little bit here. There we go. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do, I think, is use the Petal Pink. And I think that will look kind of like a really pale color. I hope I don't hate it, but we'll see. I was wanting to kind of give it like, you know, variety. So see how that goes. Let's put it here. There we go. Yeah, that made a nice salmon. I don't hate that. And again, I'm going to clean. Okay, then next I'm going to put our Flirty Flamingo. Right there. And then the next thing I'm going to do is the Melon Mango. You do see some purple tulips, but they're a little bit rare. So that's why I used colors that I've definitely seen a lot of tulips in. So I didn't include the purple. It looks great in the paper, but I get caught up in realism sometimes. It's kind of silly, but I do. So I'm just going to put this one right in the middle. Okay, so I think I'm finished with using that. And then I will just put my little windmill right at the top there. And you can kind of imagine it being the the thing that is watering all these tulips. Okay, then next I was considering putting some clouds on. And I only did these in kind of my Delft blue color. But you can see how pretty these clouds are. They just kind of add to it. But I would probably still, on this one, I would probably go in with, I'd probably use another piece as an edge here. And maybe just tape them down. I got out this washi tape and I decided, ooh, yeah, that would be good. I could tape it down. Doesn't really matter how exactly. But like that. And then I'm going to take these other guys out from under there. We don't need them. And like that. And then I'm just going to tape the one under here just a little. Just kind of give it a little scooch here and there. Then I'm going to reach for my pool party. And then what I'm going to do here is just turn these guys over on their backside. But we'll see how this works. It may not at all. I'm going to use this little side sheet here. Really inked up. Go like that. And then, oopsie, okay. Then I'm going to hold the other side. Now, yes, I certainly could probably do a much better job if I didn't do it that way, but I was kind of going for a natural-ish kind of look. I don't know if that worked for me or not, but then I'm going to do the same thing with this little one. And I've done the little thing where you get a kind of a blob. But there is a little cloud here. Do the same thing. Get some pretty clouds going. Oops, I've kind of pulled that a little. Just kind of go along the edging. Back and forth a little. This guy back down. Okay, so now that I've done that, I'm just going to add a little back and forth kind of a thing here. Okay, so then putting it back in here. Finding a place to put all these is interesting. There we go. Okay, so then there you can see that guy. And imagine putting, oh, I forgot my bicycle. I left it over on the cutting table, but I might add a bicycle down here. I thought that would be pretty cute. And then here I have my thank you. So that might be a good thing to put over here where I had my kind of blobby looking thing. So let me lift that up where you can see it's kind of a weird color combination. You could spend some more time and color your windmill. You could have done it in black and really colored it nicely. But anyway, I think this is a good example of just kind of how to get started with this set. Now, like I was saying, people a lot of times will like have it set off to the side. So it's kind of like this, or they'll start so that the rows are, well, the rows are over to the side, but I was just kind of a straight on person for this one. So now I've got one more for you, and we will see how this turns out. I did also want to show you how to put together your windmill. So you'll just put some glue on the back of your windmill, and you'll poke a little hole through this hole, and then you'll put, in the regular catalog, this is number, let me see here. Golly, where are the numbers? Round and square brads. I can see it in every foreign language there is. Okay, here, it's on the back. That will help. 155570. And it has the tiny white and also the tiny black little brads. So you can see there's a white one. So my plan here was to do the navy and white. So I did see some navy and white. I think most of them were more for your garden, but I did see some that I thought were fairly authentic, if that makes sense. So I did want to include those. And I don't know where my little poker went, so I'm just gonna pop that with my scissors. Then in we go with this. And then I'm just going to angle this guy. These are really bendable, what do you call them? Legs, I guess, on your brads. You can bend those down. They don't need to be straight. You can bend them down so that they'll stay. Then I'm just going to use a dimensional. Whoops, I accidentally pulled the top off of it. But like that to keep it in place. And this will still spin. I might have gotten that a little too tight. Push it down a little far, push them in there. Then I'm going to just use a little bit of this Mono Multi green capped glue to just secure it a little. Oh, I said I was. Oh yeah, there it is. Like, yeah, I just tried it. It should be working. Then across here on this little guy, stuck down. Okay, and then I would probably, whoopsie, I would probably go ahead and secure the top of it a little bit too, but I think you can see there how that looks. You could mount that just directly on some navy, and that would be super pretty. But what I'm gonna try is the kind of the continuation of what I started here with trying to make it look like Delft, like a little kind of pottery kind of goings on. And then I thought the little clouds would look pretty on here too, because they are blue as well. So that was kind of where I was going with that. Just kind of putting it on like that. And I kind of was thinking all four corners. Maybe I need to like it a little smaller. So we'll just see how this turns out. I'm not totally convinced I can do it. So we'll see. Okay. So I was just wanting to line this up here and then grab my, oh, let me show you first what you can do if it's just too much. If it's just ridiculous, then you can just put this over the edge. I saw this on Facebook today from the artisans from Stampin' Up. So if you just get too frustrated, then just add a little to, and just kind of make it where the edge just fades away. So I think that will be easy to do and not too concerning. So what I'm going to do here is use the Pacific Point. Oh, I need to put up the, I don't want to get my pool party in this. That's not where we're going. I open my Pacific Point, nor do I want the Melon Mambo. So let's close that up. Pacific Point and Night of Navy. And you know, I'm wild and crazy. I just use whatever colors I'm going to be using on the same blue brush. But then just kind of, I'm doing Pacific Point here. And I'm just holding it by hand. And let's say I just want to put it right down here on this corner. And then go down like that. Now I'm going to get a little bit of navy, kind of go back over the whole thing again. Probably wouldn't want to make 1,000 of these because your hand probably would eventually start to kind of cramp up. I could probably stop here. I just want a little bit more over here on this side. My navy. Then I'm going to just bend it back and look. Oh, I did get kind of a mess going there. I'm not really sure how I did that, but anyway, so there you can see that. And if you had your little guy, that would just kind of be on the navy. You'd want it on the navy. That would just be kind of one possible look that you could have with this. And I think it kind of does a little Delft pottery kind of thing. You know, I could have done a better job, and I will before I post it. But anyway, this kind of, the kind of fade away look, I kind of like that. So that's one option with that. Then I am going to go ahead and try to do this with the other one. And what I did was I basically just figured up about how far over and about how high and made sure they were the same. So this is, when I count this, I'm counting 1/4 inches. So just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, a little scooch that way, 5. And I'm going to slide it right back in there. And then take this down. I'm going to get a little more tape. Sorry, this is a little bit tedious. Take that down. Okay, then I'm going to use a piece of, I think, typing paper worked fine. Put it right there. And then another piece of paper right here. Okay, now I'm going to try again. And I'm using both the Pacific Point and the Night of Navy. The Night of Navy almost looks like black, kind of loses a little bit of its blueness because it's so dark. So that's why I wanted to add the Pacific Point as well. Okay, then I'm just going to slide this paper out. That. Oh, I still got a little bit of edging, so we'll just act like we wanted it like that. And then I'm going to slide this back in here right in the same spot I had it in. All of this out of the way. Oh, and there's where I've touched it. That'd be a good place for some ribbon or for my sentiment later. I will totally take advantage of that possibility. There where I touched it. And, okay, so there you can see kind of the other way of doing this with our little guy there. And then maybe, this is not the one I wanted. Okay, well, this is a green one. Somewhere I have a blue one. Oh, here we go. Yay, much better. There we are. The little no one deserves a happier birthday than you. And then the cute little edges. Because I just kind of think that this kind of looks like Delft pottery. So that was what I was going for with this. If you don't think so, that's totally cool too. But you could also make this little spinner guy brown, or you could make it blue. I may need to be careful I don't get it where it, when you go to put it in your card, you'll want to make sure that it's an X rather than a plus so that it doesn't catch on the top of the card. I noticed that earlier that I had to be careful with the one that I did for class, that I put it low enough so that it didn't have the same problem. But this one is low enough. So we have that, and then we also have the stamped version here. So lots of different ways to play with it. And you see how, you know,
easygoing I was with this. I mean, I wasn't trying to like be meticulous, and it still turned out. I appreciate you all watching, and I hope you have a great weekend.